What's happening, faithful? It's your man Lawrence. Welcome to Platform 246. Thank you so much for stepping up. How's everybody doing? Happy hump day to you. Hopefully you're humping on something today because it's Wednesday, and that's usually what they call it. But welcome to Platform 246. Before we get started, thank you so much again for stepping up. We're going to talk about Kyle today. We might talk about James today, and that's his name if you're not aware. Uh, that's his name. And we're going to talk about the sheep. We got some little lamb chops, little babies coming up into our area code. Well, actually, we're going into the area code, but just our area overall. This coming Sunday, we need to get right. We need to get fat, and we need to do it on the ass. So hit that like button. We don't want to push the 400 subscribers. We're trying to get there before Halloween. That's before my sons. You only have 5 days left. Don't make Michael Myers come fucking with me, please. Okay, so let's get into it, y'all. And again, welcome to Platform 246. Let's go. There you see Debo, and there you see the smoke. How's everybody doing today? Again, we're on the way to 400 subscribers. We're trying to get there before Halloween. We had like 370 something right now. So we're moving. We're moving. We're growing. We're grooving. And we just took a loss. Somebody who's not grooving is the team right now, the 49ers. As we all know, we took a loss this past weekend. McCaffrey that like button because he did well, but we didn't as a team. We took a loss to to what I feel is a major rival for the 49ers. And I don't know how many faithful really realize that. And there's multiple reasons why. Just like the Seahawks, just like the Cowgirls, just like the Sheep, uh, the Chiefs stink too. You want to know why? Because when Joe Montana left the 49ers, where did he go? To the Chiefs. Where did James Richard Garoppolo leave his right knee? On the field of the Chiefs. Who came back on us in the 11th hour to make me want to cry in the Super Bowl just 2.5 years ago? The Chiefs. So, the Chiefs have been a thorn in my ass and yours for a very, very, very long time. And I don't know if enough faithful realize that. But if you did, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this past week's game. We got another one coming up against our son this weekend. So I expect us to fully sun them and treat them like the father that we are. But we got some things that we can talk about today. First of all, we got some comments. Is anybody in the chat? David, what's happening, sir? How you doing, sir? Welcome to Platform 246. How you doing, man? We're talking today about, we're going to go over Kyle Shanahan's press conference from today. We're going to talk about some injuries. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the sheep, the rams, the lambs. How are you doing, though, my brother? How was your day? How's everybody's day? Like I said, it's hump day. It's Wednesday. We got quite a few 49ers content creators right now. And let me know if you can hear me. If you're in the comment, I'll make sure that my audio is good. I always do that when we start some shit. I don't want to turn it on myself and then have to watch it and then, it gets on loud. And I don't want to do that. If you can hear me, though, I appreciate it. Chiefs also got Steve Bono. Damn right. Damn. And Elvis Gerback. That's why I love you, David. You're damn right. They sure did. So you clearly you can hear me. Chiefs did get Steve Bono and Elvis Gerback, a real 49er faithful here, David we knew, sir. Folks, if you didn't know. So yes, they did get. I forgot. I didn't even think about that, and that matters too. Elvis Gerback was decent. Elvis Gerback was decent. He's the one who threw that pass to Jerry Rice to get Dallas. If I'm not mistaken, you may think it was Joe Montana. That one they always show Jerry Rice going 81 yards on Dallas. You might think it was Joe Montana or Steve Young, but actually, I'm pretty sure it was Elvis Gerback. David actually had it. It was a tough day you made it, brother. I'm glad you made it. I'm very glad you made it. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm sorry it was a tough day. I will say that too. Had a bit of a day myself, David, but I'm glad we all made it through it. And now we all here. Let's talk some football. Maybe that'll make it a little bit better. Because talking football always makes things better for me. I'll tell you that much. But starting with us, first and foremost, injuries. As y'all know, we are riddled with injuries on the 49ers. We have been the entire time that Kyle Shanahan has been our head coach. And I do mean the entire time. And right now it's no different. Kyle Juice was injured in the last game. Something that I thought was a big reason why we played so badly in that game. It's just the amount of injuries that we have. And then to key players, you know what I'm saying? So we have injuries, like I said, to Kyle Juszczyk, our Pro Bowl, All Pro starting fullback. It's out this week in this game. I want you all to know that if you weren't aware. He would not be playing because, again, he did just have surgery on his finger, Kyle Juszczyk. Now, I will say that he's a man, okay? Because Kyle Juszczyk kept that ball in his hand even after that motherfucker broke his finger. He did not drop the ball. How? I don't know. Especially when Debo, Jeff Wilson, and George Kittle and James circling on his finger trying to do a live stream is never something that you want to see. But I want to get into the injuries a little bit that we have right now. And Kyle Shanahan laid them out for us today at the press conference. I'm sure I haven't watched it. We're gonna watch it together, and we're gonna talk about it together. And I'm sure it was lovely, especially since he's in a bad mood. Right now we have ornery Kyle. We have angry Kyle. We got mid 40s style Kyle right now. We don't have happy Kyle right now. We had happy Kyle before we got to the Chiefs game. After the Chiefs game, he left, and he left quick. So right now, Kyle is in his bad mood stage, his talk people bad in the press conference stage. Don't do any interviews on the side stage. But that's okay. We're not mad at Kyle. We understand that he's the head coach of this team. He cannot stop getting players injured no matter what he tries to do. And so for today, again, practice happened today, and Kyle Shanahan had these players not in practice today, Wednesday, first practice of the week for the Chiefs game. And listen to the names that did not practice. Debo Samuel, Tashawn, hamstring, no shit. Debo's not practicing. He has a hamstring injury. I wonder why. Dre Greenlaw, calf, not practicing. Of course, Kyle Juszczyk, since his finger's hanging off, he's not practicing. Eric Armstead, still not practicing. We are in week 8. I believe how many games has he played this season? 1 or 2? We're in week 8. Eric Armstead, foot injury, still not practicing. Juwan Jennings, hamstring. Is Tyler Croft on the team? Or any of those Caucasian wide receivers that we had last season? Or on the practice squad, that is? Because now Juwan's injured, so he's not going to play. Well, we do have, I'm sorry, we have Danny Gray. Kyle may not know that we have Danny Gray, Coach Shanahan. We also have Danny Gray. So we'll see how that works out. Juwan Jennings did not practice. Samson Ebukam, Achilles. This motherfucker has an Achilles injury. Samson Ebukam. It's not injured yet. It's actually just tender right now. It's tender. Like the Lakers are tender right now, losing to the Nuggets. And then Trent Williams got a vet day. He hasn't played in 2-3 weeks, and he got a vet day today. Trent Williams doesn't need any practice. All right. And then limited practice, Jason Verrett. So there you have it. How many of those people, folks, are not starters? Faithful. All of them are. And they're all missing practice today. They only have 2 more to go up to Friday before it's time to be set for the game. To set your lineups, basically set up which players are going to be called up, which players are going to be down in the practice squad, who's going to dress, and so on. And right now, half of our starters on each side of the ball are not practicing, or we already know that they're out with an injury. We saw the way Jimmy Ward played also this week with a cast on. It was not the Jimmy Ward of old. It wasn't the Jimmy Ward of last season. That is for sure. So, what are we going to do this weekend going up against the Sheep? Jimmy Ward is two things. He is the alleged Kelsey stopper, and he's the alleged Cooper Cup stopper. So we don't have Jimmy Ward. Talanoa Hufanga, by the way, was in concussion protocol for basically the last two games and played a horrible game. Even though I don't know about All Pro Talanoa or All Pro Huff now, but that motherfucker played a horrible game last Sunday. He was missing tackles everywhere. I may as well have been out there playing because it wasn't good. It was ugly. So Huff is sold and not playing at his potential. Jimmy Ward has a cast on his fucking right hand. Things are looking tough. So that is probably why old Kyle has been the way that he has been for the last week. So speaking of Kyle, let's get into Coach Shanahan. Today he had his press conference. It's 11 minutes long. I'm surprised that he stayed in front of them for that long. But it's 11 minutes, and Kyle lets us know. I'm assuming his thoughts on the Rams game, the Sheep. I did not listen to it. Usually, I always listen to the press conferences before I even, maybe come on and talk about them with y'all, or maybe we make a video about it individually. But since we're doing it live, I decided to wait and just listen to it with all of you, and we can break in. If anybody wants to comment on anything or even jump in the stream, let me know. I can put the link right in the comments, and you can come on and let me know how you feel. This is a call-in show. We interactive all the time. We love talking with our folks, with the faithful. So if you want to get down or step up, however you want to look at it, there you go. There goes the link, and let's get into Coach Shanahan today, his press conference, and whatever the hell he has to say. He telling us right away who's not practicing. What's Kyle starting the press conference off with? Let me tell y'all how many people are not at work today. That's what we're going to start.
Injuries for today. Armstead, foot and ankle, won't practice. Debo, hamstring.
Captain. Back-to-back captains not practicing.
Won't practice. Juice, finger, won't practice. Samson, Achilles, won't practice. Greenlaw, calf, no practice.
Where do these injuries come from? Do you people see them come out the games at any point in time? Do y'all see these people come out of the game? Everybody that he's talking about, if you didn't hear it, let's go ahead and just let you know, everybody, that we have out this week, or at least today, from practice.
All right, injuries for today. Armstead, foot and ankle, won't practice. Debo, hamstring, won't practice. Juice, finger, won't practice. Samson, Achilles, won't practice. Greenlaw, calf, no practice. Trent, just a vet day for him. Juwan Jennings, hamstring, won't practice. Verrett, knee, limited. Go ahead.
Limited.
Yeah.
Verrett, knee, limited. Go ahead. So who's not going to play for us this year? That's what I would like to know. That's what I want to ask all the faithful. Who's not going to play for us again this year? Jason Verrett or Eric Armstead? And maybe at some point Samson Ebukam, because he's going to tear his Achilles. Melo, what's happening? Let's get a couple of comments up real quick. I didn't put any up right here. David says, "What's up, Lawrence? Oh, I appreciate you for coming in. Let me know the Chiefs also took Steve Bono and Elvis Gerbach from us. So fuck you." And then he also says it was a tough day, but he made it through. That's what we all do, my man. So much love. Appreciate you coming in and stepping up. And what's happening, Romello? I know you've been wanting to talk about some things, Romello. What's on your mind, man? What's been on your mind? Besides James and Kyle. Kyle and James. Let's get back into Kyle. We got Miss Tia in the building. What's happening, Miss Tia? How are you? We talking Niners? We talking Sheep? We talking Kyle? How's everybody's day been? Hopefully everybody's been good. Please hit that like button if you're new and you enjoy. Hopefully you subscribe. As you see, I got that scrolling across the bottom. It says 400 subscriber goal. We're trying to get there by Halloween. We're short, okay? We're short right now. And we got 5 days left to do it. We're trying to get there. If I don't do it, my kids are going to be disappointed in their father, my sons. And Michael Myers might come for me and some shit. I don't know. Because Lori fucked him up in that last movie. She spoiler alert. She ground his up like G meat, like ground beef. But we all know how Michael Myers does in the streets. Michael Myers don't go down easy. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't get them 400 subscribers by Halloween, he may be knocking on my door for some candy or whatever, and I don't want that. We'll have to jack him up like we got jacked up on Sunday. What's going on, everybody? First, again, Miss Tia says hello. And please say hello to our moderator, 49ers Lakers for Life. Miss Tia, that is one of our moderators. So please say hello to her. Uh, and then we got Romello saying, what's going on, everybody? I'm glad we finally got a running back. That's, man, you ain't never lied. That's actually a good one because the last one was Frank Gore. Yes. Previous to that, another man I loved, Garrison Hurst. And I don't love a lot of men. You know what I'm saying? But I did love Garrison. I did love Frank. And I think I'm going to end up loving Christian. I think so. And we got the handcuffs. Clank, clank on his ass for the next, I believe, 2 years at least minimum after this. So let's get back into Kyle. Let's see who's not playing since we know how well Christian was playing. Again, how's everybody's day? And then, boom, there you go. You're absolutely right. David says CMC is more than just a running back. And you, again, have never lied. You saw he caught passes in that game. I think he's going to be good in the blocking game, too. And we all know James needs as much protection as possible, especially with Turnpike McGlinchey on the right side.
What's the plan?
I haven't seen Kyle, by the way. Usually I pre-watch it, but I decided to just partake in it with all of you.
And for Red, it's just a chance to kind of ramp him up and see if he can
Verrett, you're
contribute.
talking about Jason
down the
Verrett
road.
now.
Keep doing the same things we've done. We'll throw him in practice and to see how it goes.
How's Debo's hamstring in the last couple? Is he making?
Can y'all see the destruction and devastation in Kyle's face? Am I the only one that sees it? He is so miserable. He's so depressed, and he's been like that really since Trey left his ankle on the 25-yard line in game 2. The second Trey left his ankle at the 20, Kyle just like I did, just throw your papers up, throw your whole shit up. And he turned around and he saw that smiley ass Italiano face. He's like, fuck. And it's been fuck ever since.
Progress? Where is he?
Making progress.
What's realistic for Red? Post buy, is that what the team is generally looking at for his return?
I mean, I'm not ruling out this week. I'm really just waiting to see how he practices and then go from there.
Favor, do you think we have a chance to see Jason Verrett? That's the question I want to ask everybody. We haven't seen him all year. We're going into game 8. This is our last game before our bye week. I think it's coming at the perfect time. And we're playing the perfect opponent. We'll be done with these holes for this season, too. After the bye week, we don't got to see these sons of bitches no more. We don't got to go to L.A. or Inglewood. And we don't have to have them touch down in Frisco or Santa Clara. So, but do you think we'll see Jason Verrett this Sunday?
With you making a game plan with Christian McCaffrey now in the fold, was there a little bit extra excitement for you early in the week when you were formulating it? And what is it when you play the Rams? You seem to get the creative juices flowing a lot to outwit Sean and the Rams.
Why do the 49ers beat writers ask such dumbass questions? They ask the stupidest, silliest shit. You get your juices going when you're playing the Rams. Shut your stupid ass up.
I mean, it's always, when you add someone like Christian, it's always a lot more fun. I don't see it much as creative juices versus the Rams. I mean,
Kyle never has fun. Kyle can't spell fun.
we don't change much. They don't change much. We do the same thing each time. They do too. Their scheme hasn't changed in a number of years, and neither has ours. You try your hardest to get good players the ball in space, and you see what they do with it. And it's a pretty simple game with both of us because we know each other well, and it usually comes into a physicality game and who turns the ball over the least and who makes one more play than the others.
See if you can pick out, if you can't hear it, a game that I always like to play with myself. See if you can tell when Grant Cohn asks his question. When is Grant? If you can't hear his voice, you can always usually tell by Kyle's body language and his facial expression. And generally, Kyle sits right in front of him somehow. Grant sits right in front of Kyle. See if you can figure out when Grant Cohn asks the question.
how much do you look back at that game 2 weeks ago when the Rams played the Panthers to kind of see what they, how they accounted for Christian?
I mean, there's only been two
They
games,
didn't.
so we watched those two games
They
hard
really didn't
that they
account for
played since
Christian in
us,
that
but
game.
it's the same way they count for everybody. I mean, they
I
have a
think he had
scheme
150 total yards.
that hasn't changed.
Against the
So you
Sheep.
know what you're going to do. It's a very sound scheme with some good play.
Now, mind you, their quarterback is Matt Stafford. Ours is James. So, there you go.
And they do a good job of mixing their coverages up, and it really never changes.
Defense is a pretty prideful group, and I'm sure they never expected to be have things handed to them the way they did the other day.
They never expected to be bludgeoned. Our defense didn't expect to get the R word. Is that what he's saying? Because I don't think any of us faithful expected to see that. Even if we lost that game, I don't think we expected us to be giving up 44 at home. Excuse me, 42, because James gave them two.
Today. What did you see on Monday, and what do you expect to see today from them?
Yeah, they're a prideful group. They're real disappointed. I mean, Monday's always emotional because you're not removed far from the game. But you got to review it. You got to go through all that hard stuff and can't sugarcoat it.
Monday's always emotional. For who? For the fans? Not for James, because James is smiling at most of the games. So was George. James and George both found a place to smile after that game. I watched them. But who was Monday hard for? The faithful? It sure shit was hard for me on Monday. And my kids saying shit like, oh, now I got to stay off the internet. Oh, now people are going to tease me. Now I can't defend my team this week. My kids. It's hard for us. You making a fat check, Kyle.
Which you don't have to. They kind of knew that before you get together. And then they come back today and they're ready to go.
You guys have had some inconsistencies on offense. You also have a lot of new coaches on offense. Do you feel that's part of it? Just a lot of new people working together for the first time?
I think going through a year when you have every single person on our offense is in a new position except our line coach. So I think you start out that way some. I mean, it's especially when you spend the whole offseason getting everyone ready for a plan, what we're going to do with Trey and things like that. Then you go a different direction by the first.
Did he? Let me just back it up. Did he say Trey? Did he say that name? We miss you, Trey. We miss you. We miss you, and we didn't even
Start
have
out
you.
that way some. I mean, it's especially when you spend the whole offseason getting everyone ready for a plan, what we're going to do with Trey and things like that. Then you go a different direction by the first quarter of the second game. So everyone's up to date on stuff, but you realize it's your first time going through stuff with people. I mean, our first time playing the Rams, I felt like it was our millionth. But last time we put a game plan together, I realized, man, a lot of these guys haven't gone through this with us. So you have some of that stuff, but that's stuff you go throughout the year with, and you have that with players too.
Joe Staley was saying this week.
Coughing on stream, you don't ever want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But that alkaline water. When you get older, you got to start drinking alkaline water and shit. That's not even regular water. And also, by the way, check that bottle out. That's pretty sexy, isn't it? We always looking for sponsorship.
To correct things, it has to come on the practice field. How important, just generally, is practice, and is it tough when you have a lot of guys that are consistently out of practice with injuries?
Yeah, I think that's the only place to correct things is the practice field. I mean, that's where you get better. That's where you do your work. And then you just let it unfold in the 3.5 hours when you're competing. That's a fine line. Everyone has that challenge in this league. You don't get much in the off season, and you want to be able to do it and improve throughout the year. But it's tough when guys go down. We haven't had a full week of practice in a number of weeks. Not by.
Right on cue, Cal. Yeah, I was about to say, he's saying how important practice is. Well, nobody's fucking practicing today. No one practiced. George did. James did. We know what they're going to do on Sunday. Fuck around with each other. No one practiced. James practiced, but for what?
Choice just by some guys being down, and it'll be a little bit tough today. But that's why we're just trying to keep pushing guys to get back so you can practice more.
We don't even have enough fucking players to field the practice squad. Faithful. What's happening? He just said it's going to be a little tough today. I read you at the start of the stream who missed practice. Kyle didn't. Kyle said it too. We ain't even got enough players to start to have a practice squad. The walking wounded. It's like MASH, the TV show.
Kyle, production in the second half has been an issue, particularly in the losses. Is there anything that you're identifying that is kind of a through line on all that, and what's your
James sucks.
level of concern with that?
On offense or defense? No, I think it's
Special teams, offense, defense, and coaching.
different each week. I mean, you look last week, I mean, we scored.
Well, last week, it's not different each week, actually, because we have our second safety of the season. When the fuck do you see two safeties happen ever? Have you seen two safeties happen in the league this year outside of with our quarterback? And then, of course, our quarterback is our quarterback. So it's just the same. It's the same thing, Kyle. As a matter of fact, it's different each week. No, it's not. It's James. James is the common denominator. James and the little peach.
On our first two drives coming out, scored, I think, a field goal on the first drive, a touchdown on the second drive. I think the third play was a safety when we were backed up.
A safety. Motherfucking safety. What? Am I playing Madden? You only get safeties on Madden. And it's hard to get a safety on Madden. But it's...
Fourth play, we went, fourth series, I think we went 50 yards and had a fumble on second down. And then the last series we put on, we were in mop-up time. We did 2 minutes. I think we got down in the red zone and threw a pick. So, I mean, it's different. You got to execute stuff.
Oh. Did he say I think? I don't know what you all can see that I'm doing. It doesn't matter. I love y'all. Did he say I think? No. There's no think. There's no think. Here it goes.
Throw it. Blitz is coming. Garoppolo.
Play right.
And it's intercepted. Joshua Williams. Back instead. And a throw. Blitz is coming. Garoppolo.
This is where it happened.
Throws it up for grabs. And
it would not play. That would have been so nice. Right on cue. I could just pull up the interception. This motherfucker backpedaling. Miss Tia, don't laugh. This motherfucker backpedaling and moonwalking like Michael Jackson. Right into throwing an interception. Play the video. Play it. No, you ain't gonna play it? Damn it. It's just stuck still? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? It could have played it. It really could have just played. So we all just joining it together. Maybe it's my internet stream right now. You know how it trips every once in a while when we're live. Y'all did. But we'll go back to Kyle. Kyle was playing. But yeah, that's what James threw the interception that Kyle just said. I think we got down to the red zone. Game.
I think we punted once.
Right. Did you say I think?
Had a fumble on second down.
Fumble on second down.
And then the last series we put on, we were in mop-up time. We did 2 minutes. I think we got down in the red zone and threw a pick.
I think we got down in the red zone and threw a pick. Nope, that's what happened.
So, I mean, it's different. You got to execute stuff at no matter what time of the game.
You can't.
We punted once in the first half, none in the second. I think it was a number of days ago, but I don't look at it as to half. I look at it as some of the same issues in the first too.
Coach, the fans travel well, especially to Levi. It's called SoFi or Levi.
That's one thing you cannot say about us. The Niner gang is coming, and we're gonna talk about that when we talk about the Rams. But they know we coming to take over that stadium. So all my folks back at home in LA, shout out to you. My cousins that like the sheep, shout out to you. You won't be able to even get into the stadium. I love you, but we coming to take that motherfucker over.
South, how big is that to have the faithful there, and how can it kind of affect the game or kind of feel like a home game?
Go to the game, let them know it's just Levi South, take over their stadium, and put a W on the board. And I mean that faithful. I can't go because I would get arrested if I went anyway. But I can't. And my sons, all three of us will probably get locked up. My baby's not even old enough to get locked up, but he might be the biggest. So y'all go represent the faithful down in Inglewood or LA. Like I said, I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm gonna stop calling them the Inglewood Rams or the Inglewood Sheep. Go to LA and represent the faithful.
Oh, I mean, I talked about it last year being one of the coolest things I've seen in sports, and home field advantage is a big deal in the NFL because of crowd noise, and when you don't have to worry about that as much on the road, it's huge, and when you actually can get the crowd noise, it's doesn't happen very much, but it's a big deal.
Kyle, this may be oversimplified, but the defense was so dominant with the exception of the last two games. Can you put your finger on what it was that allowed both Atlanta and Kansas City to have such successful runs in the second half?
I think we went into the Atlanta game pretty banged up, but I don't think that's why it happened. I think they got a few first downs when we shouldn't have, kept them on the field, let them go a little bit longer. They made some points. They also returned a touchdown.
Have they asked him anything about the Chiefs? Did they just ask about the Atlanta game?
Off one of our fumbles. In the second half, they controlled the ball well, but we gave up that first drive, and then we stopped them on their next 4 drives. So I get how dominant it was in the first 3 games or whatever that was, but I know we can play better than we have these last 2 weeks. And, yeah, we're missing some guys, which makes it tougher to be.
Can we, though? Shit, show us, because we don't see it, Kyle. And, he, just like his quarterback, often says, we. This motherfucker's French, I guess. We. You need to start saying I. Okay? I can coach better. I can get the players better ready to not jump off sides on offense or defense. Nick Bosa, Mike McGlinchey, Trent Williams, I'm talking to you. Speaking of Mike McGlinchey, I can get a better feeding and eating program in Santa Clara. So get Mike McGlinchey a Twinkie or something. That motherfucker needs to eat something. He got no base. Did y'all see him get bull rushed by I don't know who, and it doesn't matter, and lay on his ass, lay on his back like a woman? Did you catch Mike McGlinchey on his back this weekend? Who caught it? Because I saw it. Flat on his back. Like he was just waiting to take one. And he's about to let his quarterback take one.
Be that dominant, but we also went against a pretty good team last week too. So I think we can play a lot better. We can't hurt ourselves when we're down, which we have done, and we got to be able to weather that storm until we get some guys back.
Rams, much like your offensive, struggled to score points as well. What did you see in the Carolina game pre-bye?
Yeah, she had to keep throwing like little veil shots at Kyle. Your offense is struggling, Kyle. You're not doing a good job at any of your jobs, Kyle. You're 3-4 with a 24th, 23rd, 22nd ranked offense. You're the coach and the offensive coordinator. You're failing at both jobs. You're clearly failing at both jobs. You're clearly failing at coaching because we have no discipline. We're 3-4, and James is our quarterback. Because Brock Purdy is not our starting quarterback right now. That automatically makes you a failure as a coach. And then we have like the 80th ranked offense in the league. It's like junior high school offense, and you're the offensive coordinator.
Kind of the same issues. I mean, anytime you're missing most of your O-line, I think it's tough for them. So it's hard to get a running game going in that situation. So it just puts more pressure on everyone else. And
weren't we only missing one player on the O-line? Trent Williams in this last game? What the hell is he talking about? What in the blue hell is he talking about? We were only missing Trent Williams last game. Now, mind you, I guess he's a lot of the offensive line, but we were only missing Trent Williams. And Mike McGlinchey ended up on his back. There's no play in football that has an offensive lineman end up on his motherfucking back. There isn't one.
It's similar issues.
Reception the other day, is the expectation that Jimmy would be able to avoid those types of plays at this point, and then what's level?
Did she say expectations and James in the same sentence?
Frustration that he's not.
That's an expectation for any quarterback in this league. That's why this league is very tough to play in as a quarterback. That's why there's not 32 of them. But always, you know, the good quarterbacks, you want them to make plays, you want them to be able to let it rip. But sometimes when you have blitz issues and they're not there, the worst case scenario has got to be a sack and not.
Whoa, did he say let it rip? Is Trey playing? He said let it rip. He always says that also. He always says there aren't 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. Yes, there are. There's 32 teams, you dumbass. I guess what he's saying is there aren't 32 real actual starting quarterbacks. So let me let you know this, Faithful. This is from your coach. Somebody in the league has a quarterback that isn't a quarterback. Your coach, your own coach, Kyle Shanahan himself, the man. He's more the man than Jed York is, believe me. And Jed York signs his check. Kyle said there aren't 32 starting caliber quarterbacks in the league. So who doesn't have one?
A pick, and that's one I know he'd love to have back.
Maybe one that was a pick at the 2-yard line.
Had 3 different injuries, both feet and an ankle.
And fumbles.
Yeah, something like that. I don't ask as hard as you do. I don't ask as hard. I know it's foot, ankle. They blend together too. So, yeah.
Is right now, because you talked about flare-ups and everything, it sounds like, is what he's mainly dealing with plantar fascia?
I think it's a few things. Yeah, that's why I don't think it's an easy. Just give you a word or a timeline. I'm not hiding anything. You can ask him about it, but there's a lot of things into it.
Not about nature.
Interception. Is it reasonable to expect Jimmy to see?
I don't know how long you've been watching Niner. Thank you for stepping up, brother. How you doing tonight? Hopefully you're good. You're safe. Your family's good. We're talking about James and his 1-yard line interception. Wasn't it lovely? Like Stevie Wonder. Isn't she lovely? Y'all didn't know my voice could go that high, huh? But yeah, wasn't that pick lovely? Kyle's talking about it right now. He said he would love to have that one back. I would love to have my other quarterback back. But we can't have everything that we want, can we, Kyle?
Jeff Wilson, or is that too far down in his progressions? Is the best case there a sack given what happened?
Yeah, I don't want to go into all the schematics of it, but there's 2 play options on a play. Like to get to the better one. If you run out of time and you can't, it'd be great to fall into Jeff, but he was looking the other way and it wasn't there. And there was an unblocked guy in his face. So what's your choices?
He's always looking the other way. The fuck? He's always looking the other way. He's always looking the wrong way. Unless there's a porn star in the area, that summer bitch is looking the wrong way every play. Unless it's a handoff or there's a porn star, he's looking the wrong way.
Throw it out of bounds if you can, or just sit there and take a sack.
When in the hell does he ever throw the ball out of bounds? James Richard Garoppolo hasn't thrown the ball out of bounds since he was in junior high school. I'm almost assured of it.
The issue on defense the past couple of weeks has been that players are playing that haven't been practiced.
Here we go. This is Grant. I can hear it. He says, okay, so look at Kyle's face. Look at Kyle's face. A picture says 1,000 words. Look at that man's face. Can I remove me so he can be like he's the main face? Just I want that big. Like, look at his fucking face. Every time I watch a video from him, and when that man in front of him, and look at, like I said, Grant sitting right directly in front of his ass. I hate Grant Cohn, but thank you to Grant Cohn, because Grant Cohn is literally in divorce. Grant Cohn is literally the reason why I am on the platform, why you on the platform, why I made this channel. When he pissed me off one day talking about God knows what, I was like, you know what? Fuck Grant Cohn. Grabbed my phone and went off, lit up a video, uploaded the video, and now here we are. And now here he is sitting right in front of Kyle, destroying Kyle. Look at him. He hates Grant. I hate Grant. You probably hate Grant.
Practicing throughout the week. Their full capability.
Yeah, I mean, very.
Kyle, tongue-tied.
The issue on defense the past couple of weeks has been that players are playing that haven't been practicing throughout the week. Like they're not at their full capability.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to play in a game when you don't practice. It's also very hard when a number of guys aren't practicing, and the practice that you have is a walkthrough. So I don't really consider that practice either. So I mean, that's what people deal with all around the league. So those are the decisions you got to make when you go into a game. If they didn't practice all week, can they get through the game healthy? And if they can get through that game healthy, is that a better option than what you have behind them?
Do you think, like this week, the whole playbook, or the whole game plan, I should say, will be open to Christian since he's here the whole week? Like,
Yes.
Think of the devil.
How is there a challenge still in converting what the language from Carolina to what your game plan lines out for him this week?
Yeah, it's a real challenge.
Please, folks, if you are new to the channel, hopefully you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel. We do this all the time, and we're gonna be doing it a whole lot more the more we lose. But please, McCaffrey, that like button. Also, share the video around. That means don't miss it. Don't miss the hole. Don't. Who misses the holes a lot? The guy that we cut. Don't trade Sermon it. Hit that like button, just like McCaffrey hits the hole.
For anybody, but you got to work at it, and he did that a lot in the 48 hours he was here to be a part of it last week, and I'm not worried about him doing it this week too.
He was playing 85, 86% of their offensive snaps. Do you guys have a number? I mean, do you want it to be that high, or is that something that you're concerned about?
No, it's something that you feel out once you get to know people. You get to know your team, you get to know a player, you get to know his backups, you just get familiar with people. But I never go in with anybody I don't know and say, give an amount of numbers or stat or anything. I try to get to know the athlete and how they play throughout a game and how we use them and how you balance people out, and that's usually how we do it.
You're probably aware you guys rank in the top 5 in turnovers and penalties. I mean, as a coach.
Did you hear that, Faithful? We rank in the top 5 in turnovers and penalties. Never want to hear that, do you? I wouldn't want to hear that after game 1. After game 1, week 1, I wouldn't want to hear you were the top 5 in turnovers and penalties today. That usually means you lost. No wonder we're 3-4. So, 49ers first takes in the building. What's happening, sir? How you doing here, man? How you doing? Thank you so much for stepping up, brother. Yeah, that's a shame. So who is that an indictment on in your mind, Aaron? 49ers first takes. Who's that an indictment on? The team? I mean, they're turning the ball over, but, which running back hasn't turned it over? Or how many times are you going to hand the ball off to Debo when he continues to fumble? Never mind. You have, boom. There you go. Just leave that right there. Right, that's what they say on the internet, right? I'm going to just leave this right here.
But how do you attack those areas, which can be pretty key?
I think when it comes to turnovers, I mean,
I'll tell you how. I need to look in the mirror. I'm Kyle Shanahan. I need to look in the mirror, and I need to figure out what I'm doing. You're looking at the person that he's talking to, let alone looking at himself. I need to look in the mirror, and I need to figure out why the players are not responding to me, what I'm doing incorrectly that's making them not respond to me on game day. Maybe it's because I don't talk to anybody on game day. Unless I'm yelling at James. I yell at James, or whoever really my quarterback is. I yell at my quarterback, primarily James, and very often. But I don't talk to anybody on game day, so maybe that's why.
It's one thing that I always try to stay balanced. I think when you get throwing too much, I think that tends to happen. I do think, I think that's what happened our last 2 turnovers.
Excuse me. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Did that happen to the Chiefs when old PMS, old Patty put up 400 on us and 44? Pat put up 444, 42. James gave him 2. Pat put up 42 and 420. Did it happen to Andy Reid and the Chiefs when they just start throwing too much? Did it fuck up their game plan? No. Thank you. Only if you get to throwing too much with James, then, and that's what he can't say that because he has to be the president. and the owner and the coach and whatever the fuck he is and a diplomat in this situation. He can't say, well, if we throw the ball, we can't get into a shootout. I don't know how we pulled off New Orleans a few years back, George in his prime. That's how. But other than that, if we get to throwing the ball, we get to losing.
You get in one-dimensional.
One dimensional. The Chiefs were one dimensional. They must have ran on
Stay balanced. I think when you
to stay balanced.
I'm sure you don't say, hey, stop committing penalties and turnovers. I mean, but how do you attack those areas, which can be pretty key?
I'm also not.
I think when it comes to turnovers, I mean that's one thing that I always try to stay balanced. I think when you get throwing too much, I think that tends to happen. I do think, I think that's what happened our last two turnovers. You get in one-dimensional when we're in those 2-minute drives, those last two, and one ends up with a strip on the sack, and one a ball sails over on the last play for the pick in the end zone. So those are ones that you try to control.
I'm crushed.
The one that we had earlier just can't happen. So you try to eliminate those way, like ones that you can't help, and ones that you can help. And then the penalties. You just got to deal with. But what we don't have to deal with is lining up off sides.
Nick, he's talking to you.
False starts.
Trent McGlinchey, he's talking to you. Also, please say laying on your back like you want to have sex. Please say that, Kyle. That's to Mike too. You also can't lay on your back on the football field. There's no play that any player is supposed to lay on his back. You're supposed to always fall forward. There's no good play where you end up on your back. An even worse play if you're an offensive lineman and you somehow end up on your back.
Those are the big ones that bother me.
I love sarcasm, Aaron.
Thanks, guys.
Whoa, look, speak. Happy cow.
You get in one-dimensional
Happy cow.
when we're in those 2-minute drives, those last two, and one ends up with a strip on the sack, and one a ball sails over on the last play for the pick in the end zone. So those are ones that you try to control. The one that we had earlier just can't happen. So you try to eliminate those way, like ones that you can't help, and ones that you can help. And then the penalties. You just got to deal with. But what we don't have to deal with is lining up off sides. False starts. Those are the big ones that bother me. Thanks, guys.
Well, there you have it, faithful. Kyle Shanahan, our coach. As you said there, Aaron, so inspirational. Yep. He might be the most least inspirational coach in the NFL. That doesn't look like a complete dork or doofus. It doesn't look like the Cowboys coach or whatever, Mike McCarthy or some shit like that. Don't look like Mike McCarthy. You know what I'm saying? He might be the least inspirational coach in the NFL. He's like a wet napkin, really. But as you see, he walked off, pissed the shit. I said at the start, right before we even played anything from him, right now we don't have happy Kyle. We have angry Kyle. We have condescending Kyle. Unfortunately, condescending Kyle is in full effect right now. And he portrays that onto the whole team. Our team has the same arrogance that he has. Every player, just in different ways. They may portray it a different way. He's just snarky. He's the coach and he knows it. So, he's just ornery all the time. And he has no people skills. Kyle Shanahan has zero people skills, which it eludes me how he's become a head coach in the NFL with no people skills. Only motherfucking little whitey doo-wop fucking Burrow put up like almost 500, thrown for 480 yards. And let me tell you, it's not because there are 279,000 yak yards. I just saw that today. I didn't even know that he tried to split an atom on Sunday in their game. Did young Joe Burrow. They got quarterbacks out there. Quarterbacks in Santa Clara throwing for 440, but they don't wear gold and red. We got quarterbacks in the NFL throwing for 480 yards. Joe Burrow is 14 years old. Jimmy Ward always wants all the smoke. He didn't want that smoke against Brandon Marshall though. I bet you he don't want that Brandon Marshall smoke. Do you want that, Jimmy? I keep saying nobody with the name Jimmy is going to work out. It's just not going to work. I try to give, since he spells it IE, which I don't know how that ever happened, but I always try to give him a chance, but he's so brittle. I think he has brittle bone syndrome or something like that. And no disrespect to it. I'm sorry if he does. But I think he probably has brittle bone syndrome, Jimmy Ward. He breaks his hand. Doing what? I broke in my hand. I had to punch a porcelain wall about as hard as I could. I broke in my hand. It was from punching the wall. Not just because what did he do? On kickoff. Snap. Done. Donezo. Just like his homeboy, Brittle Kittle. You damn right. That's his nickname. Not Muerte or Pentagon or none of that shit. It's Brittle Kittle. Speaking of that, wrestling's on. Thank you so much for that, Aaron. 49ers First Takes. You just reminded me that AEW is on. I would live stream AEW, but nobody wants to watch that, and I don't want to watch that. We will be live streaming on Friday night for SmackDown, so subscribe to the channel. If you like and enjoy wrestling, I can cover that too. We do that here too. Hopefully my sons will be with me that night. They're not with me tonight, so I feel a little lonely, but I have y'all, so I sincerely appreciate it. I really, really do. But yeah, we'll be live streaming on Friday for SmackDown. It should be a good SmackDown. You get the 31s up, Roman Reigns. Yeah, but then on Sunday, we'll be also live streaming the 49ers game. My son, my oldest son, this past Sunday said, that's it, I'm done, in our Instagram group chat, right? Because I'm a new age dad. So in our Instagram group chat, my oldest son told me after we got mollywopped at home, he said, I'm done. I'm just going to watch highlights for the rest of the season. I'm finished. I was like, damn, G. Look what you've done to us, Kyle. Look what your attitude has done to us as faithful. You're making my children lose faith. My children don't want to fuck with you anymore. Much love, brother. And we gotta get together and do something. Again, too. Love to have you actually on the chat. Yeah, anybody can jump on too, by the way, if you like. I'll put the link is in the chat. Yeah, I want to talk, we're about to get up out of here. Eventually. Maybe not, who knows, but we will in a second. I'm just saying, Mr. My children, my babies, y'all know my folks. Get the goddamn thing going. I didn't even send it. My folks, which y'all are, and salute. And again, subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 400. We're trying to get there. We're trying to get there before Halloween. Don't make Michael come and see me. All right. So, but my babies, y'all know our folks that have been here, whether just recently, you can't help but miss it, or all the way through. You know how I feel about my sons. My babies don't want to watch the 49 games anymore. At least my oldest son. And he has my name, so that's not possible. He can't do that. We have the same name. So, but this game, we will be live streaming for that this Sunday, the Rams game. 49ers Rams, we all know what it is. So anybody watching, and folks, if you see this now, later, whether you came in here by accident, on purpose, you open the door and you just been peeping and watching the whole time, or you slipped in here, you decided to stay on the platform for a second, I appreciate you. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, share it, leave a comment. What do you think about the game? First of all, we beat that ass. We're getting in their ass and not like they want us to. But we will get in their ass this Sunday. I do believe that we're going to go to LA, take over the stadium. And I think the keys to us doing that are, first and foremost, I'll just give 3. James, protect the ball. Protect your neck. Think of it as your neck, James. Listen to the song. Protect your neck. Protect the ball at all costs. Treat it like a porn star. Treat it like Kiara Maria. You still fucking with Kiara? Treat it like her. I'm sure when you guys was going down the subway and shit, you wasn't letting anybody look at her. You probably had security because we pay you a lot of money, 25 M's, or not this year. You took a pay cut, but before that you were getting a lot of money, and then all of a sudden you was getting a lot of honey. So um, I'm sure you had Kiara well intact, close to you, build up in subway, throw it up to everybody, and you guys do your thing. So treat the football like you treat your porn stars. Keep it close to your heart, unless you're giving it to a guy wearing the same color as you. Now I understand that this previous week, the other team had on white, and the link is in, so it's verified. So nobody can say I didn't do it. The other team had on white, but they also had red mixed in. So maybe you were confused at who at the 1 yard at the inch line who you were throwing the football to. But just continue to throw it. You'll be wearing white. So it should be clear, unless they make, because the sheep like to do that kind of shit. They'll make us wear the red colors in their stadium. They do that kind of jump all the time. They wear them stupid white uniforms at their home stadium because they're backwards, because they're from Inglewood, or they live in Inglewood, but they think they live in LA. They're backwards. So, and don't talk about us. Shut up. So, we're going to play the Rams this weekend. We need the faithful to go to that game. Make sure that y'all take over the stadium. I'm stuck out here in Las Vegas. I'm not stuck, but I'm not in LA. So I can't go there and raise hell, but y'all can. So we want the faithful to get to that stadium, red it out, white it out, whatever it's going to be. Just search on the internet and try to figure out what the Rams are going to make us wear, because they're likely trying to go pull some shit. But again, if James can control the ball, and that's not just on him, because he did have a man in his face, so we know how scary he is. Black Swan. We know he's waiting to pirouette. We know he's waiting to tap dance. He doesn't know what stopping your feet is. He doesn't know how to stand still. He's a statue. How you would be a moving statue? I don't understand. But when he comes out, when he hikes the ball, we know he's dancing. He's doing the moonwalk. So we need the offensive line to give him time. So starting with that, we need the offensive line to much better protect than they did this last game, because the Chiefs they have Frank Clark and whatever. I can't stand either one of them, but they're not world beaters. So we need the offensive line to give protection for James. We need James to not turn the ball over. We need him to treat the football like he treats his porn stars. So I'm gonna put the two of those together, and then we need to run the ball. In the last game, Christian McCaffrey started off. He ran the ball. His first touch was for 10 yards and a first down. I was going crazy on the live stream. The live stream was going up. All the comments was going crazy. Miss Tia was there in the stream. The 49ers for Lakers for Life, one of our moderators. Say hello to her again. She was there. My sons were there. It was going up, right? Christian McCaffrey started just balling. We even got the kickoff, which we never do. So we started right away. And then suddenly, Kyle just stopped calling those plays. And none of us know what happened. He was averaging like 7 yards a carry. Jeff Wilson was like, well, fuck this. I'm not about to let Snow White come in here and take my job. Jeff Wilson started running crazy. And it was looking lovely. And then the first sign of trouble, boom, Kyle starts throwing bombs all over the field where he got a pea shooter. So we need to run the ball, and we need to the Falcons ran the ball all over us nonstop throughout the game. Now, mind you, they were winning the entire game, so it's much easier to do so. But what I've heard is that the Falcons have run the ball to come back from a 14-point deficit this year. They ran the ball in the second half, and they were down 14. Kyle Shanahan needs to run the football, and the offensive linemen want him to run the football. Jeff Saturday, I heard him say it this morning. Get some other teams on ESPN this morning, leaving for work. It's much easier, and we much more like it pushing forward than we do walking backwards. And we all know Mike McGlinchey is bad, horrible, atrocious at walking backwards, because this past week he got laid out on his ass, on his back, flat with his legs up in the air. So Kyle needs to run the ball, not pass pro. Run the ball. And then secondly, lastly, on defense, we just need to contain Cooper Kupp. They have Cooper Kupp, and we know that Matt Stafford, who we are, despite him beating us in the NFC Championship game, his nightmares, and we don't have Jimmy Ward at full strength, but anybody could pick him off. I could intercept Matt Stafford if I tried hard enough. So we have to face Matt Stafford, but we do have Cooper Kupp to face as well. So we want them to just lock him down. Come on, D'Amico. And we need Nick Bosa to make some splash plays. I'm going to put that as an asterisk in the game. Nick Bosa, the defense. So Nick Bosa, we need a game like you had against Carolina. You're trying to be the MVP and the defensive player of the year and all this other shit. You wonder why you don't get enough respect. It's because you just get these coverage sacks and shit like that. We need to see something. I want to see more out of Nick Bosa this game. So that's what I think. Folks, thank you so much for hanging with me tonight, for stepping up onto the platform, not jumping off if you just got on by accident. I appreciate that even more. Like the video, share the video around, subscribe to the channel again. We're on the way to 400 subscribers. Hopefully by Halloween, we only have 5 days left, and we got like 20 plus left to get. So that's like 4 a day. I'm pretty quick with my math. So like 4 a day. We're going to try to bring you the videos and the content. Hopefully y'all like it. Like, share, comment, and subscribe again. Thank y'all so much for watching. Niner Ganger Don't Bang. Rams, sheep, lambs. My cousin. You know who you are. Not my cousin, this part. Fuck you. We'll see y'all Sunday. And we're going to take it out on you. Y'all be safe.